May it be an evening star shines down upon you.
The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, is without question an epic journey that started off an amazing franchise. This is personally one of 2001's best films, and it tells of an epic journey to destroy a ring that is very dangerous. Directed by Peter Jackson, who will go on to direct this entire trilogy. This film takes place in Middle Earth. It tells the story of Sharon, who puts his power into the One Ring, which contains part of his soul, but when it makes its way to a young hobbit named Frodo Baggins. Then Frodo and 8 companions has to go on her journey to Mount Doom, where the One Ring can be destroyed once and for all. I have to say, I really enjoyed this film. It was a long time since I last had a look at this movie, but I was saying wow all throughout it, because the storytelling was awesome, the visual effects were amazing, the acting was great, and the faithfulness to the source material. Even though I never read Volume 1 of The Lord of the Rings, I've heard things about the book, and so rewatching this film, I was saying, wow, they did an amazing job with this. Hats off to everybody that worked on this film, from the costume designs to the characters. I don't really have a problem with this film. This fantasy adventure film, it is a wonderful adventure. In fact, my favorite character in this film, Gandalf, played by Ian McKellen, he did an awesome job portraying this character. In fact, the whole cast of this film did a great job. Elijah Wood, Liv Tyler, Sean Astin, Orlando Bloom, Hugo Weaving, Sean Bean, and several others. Everybody did their part in this film, and it was some great performances from all these actors. This film was nominated for 13 Academy Awards, winning 4 of them, and I have to say that was impressive. If you've never seen this amazing film, I say check it out because I believe it is well worth your time. So, the One Ring grants the wearer invisibility and keeps them from aging, but it's a downside because it corrupts the minds of whoever wears it, simply because Sharon is looking for this ring to get him back to power. And basically, he's like the main antagonist. Even though we don't see him in this film, he still has an overarching presence. I love the character designs in this film. They're great. The visuals are beautiful. You gotta love the music. The music's great. And Peter Jackson crafted such a evolutionary film, because at the time this was considered one of the greatest films that ever been made, and that's still true even 20 years later. Now this film's been out that long, and basically what I like is how the film concludes. You know, there's 2 characters that actually gets kidnapped in this film, and everybody else has to go save them. And I like the title, The Fellowship of the Ring, because the 9 characters in this film, they basically are on a journey to travel to Mount Doom to get rid of this One Ring. And, you know, I wasn't bored, and I would highly recommend you check out the extended version, which is over 3.5 hours. It's well worth the time. Sure, it's a long film, but the extended version adds a lot more character to the film, and some interesting story beats as well. This is such a remarkable film, to say the least. I'm giving this film a 9 out of 10. This is such a landmark in filming, and of course the achievement in the fantasy film genre at the time this film had released. It's epic, it's legendary. It is a film that you can look at and not get bored with. This is honestly some fine cinema, to say the least, and I have talked to people over the years about this film. They consider this the best out of the trilogy. This film does an amazing job establishing the setting, the characters, and the background to everything and everyone. I would say some of the characters are real interesting in this film, such as Frodo, who is a hobbit, and he doesn't have a whole lot of fighting skills, but he certainly is brave. Or how about Gandalf? An old man who is wise for his age, and he gives a lot of wisdom all throughout the film. Characters like that makes this film even more special because you get to know who they are and the true meaning of their personality. And that's why this film is so beloved by a lot of people. But this movie right here, I would say that it's incomplete because obviously it's a trilogy and the way it ends, it's like to be continued in part 2. And that's my review of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film if you have seen it. Up next will be my review of The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying, peace out.